Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of October 21st through October 25th. We're in part 2 of our weekly trading game plan. We'll be selecting our top swing trading stocks to watch, stocks in our bullpen, stocks in our shopping list. We'll also talk about how we can use dividend payers and several option strategies to generate income while we wait for our top swing trading stocks to set up. So let's get started. Welcome, Gabe Fade. Thank you for joining us from London, north of England. Hope the weather's holding up there. So here's our Google document with our notes for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of October 21st through October 25th. We keep our notes for our weekly trading game plans in publicly accessible Google documents. Our notes documents contain links to bonus videos, to the tools and resources we use to trade our top swing trading stocks to watch, etc. If you have not already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this trading week, titled Make Money Trading in October of a Presidential Election Year, we would highly recommend you also view part 1, as that contains our market analysis, trading strategies, trade ideas for this trading week. You can find a direct link to this Google document in the description box below, and we store all of our weekly trading game plan notes Google documents in a publicly accessible Google Drive folder, so you can refer back to the notes for part 1, as well as previous weekly trading game plan notes documents, and you can also find a direct link to this Google Drive folder in the description box below. So firstly, we'll quickly go over some of our trade updates for this week. And we'll look at the charts in Webull. So firstly, we got stopped out of our latest long position in Sirius XM. We had entered into this trade on October 3rd at 22.73. We got stopped out, I think, on the 14th or 17th. I can go ahead and see what our trade alert was. So on the 16th, at 26.83 for a nice profit with an ROI of about 18%, which equates to a monthly ROI of about 41.6%. So congratulations to all of our fellow BeachBum traders who also profited or are profiting from this scalp or swing trade on Sirius XM, SIRI. We'll continue to keep an eye on SIRI if it comes back down, see if we can get another swing on Sirius XM. We've done several videos on our thesis behind this trade on Sirius XM. Secondly, option strategy, we bought back our covered calls we had sold on our position in yen, which is the leverage long on China. We had sold those for 260 on September 26th. I bought them back on the 17th at 125 for a net profit or a self-generated dividend of about 135 per options contract. I wanted to buy those back when yen was significantly rising, actually sinking. I mean, going. We sell them when it's going up, buy them back when it's coming down. So when yen was correcting significantly, I wanted to buy those back, as I had originally sold those a little too cheaply. So I'm going to look at potentially reselling covered calls against that yen position. Assuming it bounces back up, China heads back up, we'll sell covered calls against our, potentially sell covered calls against our yen position and continue to scalp these options, rinse and repeat, generate our own self-generated dividends. So again, another one of our option strategies for generating income in addition to our swing trading. So if I quickly look at that trade in Sirius XM, so we entered on the 3rd at 22.73. So here's October 3rd. So again, I bought it a little bit above the bottom. Hopefully some of our BeachBum traders got in a little even cheaper. See, it rode up and then it rolled over on the 17th. On the 16th, spiked down, stopped us out. You can see it did recover and broke back above that resistance level. So if you didn't get stopped out or still in this SIRI position, you're potentially making even more profit. So again, congratulations to all of our BeachBum traders who profited from this trade idea and this swing trade on Sirius XM. I also just very quickly look at the behavior in yen, and it's been very volatile. China's been very volatile. So again, we see it was running up, so I sold those covered calls back when it was going up on the 26th. So back here when it started going up, and then again sold them when it spiked back down, headed back down. Got 135 or so. We'll see if we get another pop back in yen in China, and if so, then we can resell those covered calls again. I've got a sell out right now, I believe at 490, 495 on those covered calls again right now. Welcome Hamster 1, Sydney Osborne, Gerald Fitz. Thank you all for joining us today. So again, although I don't recommend that anyone blindly follow us into or out of any trades, if it would help you make money trading, help you succeed in your trading career, to see when we enter or exit a trade, you can get notification of our entries and exits and trades by joining our Patreon. We also have several additional alerts channels in our Discord available to our Patreon members to provide you with additional alerts, hopefully help you make money trading given your trading style. So I'll quickly show you those alerts channels in our Discord. So the first one is we also have a Thinkorswim TOS alerts channel in our Discord available to our Patreons. I have price alerts set up in Thinkorswim. When those get triggered, they get automatically posted to the Thinkorswim alerts channel on our Patreon. So we can see when Shutterstock was breaking through its 52-week lows, we got those alerts. If I follow those TOS alerts up with an actual trade, then I'll reply in the Thinkorswim alerts channel. If it's a trade not directly related to a Thinkorswim alert, and I will reply in the trade or post in the trade alerts channel. So like when we bought back our covered calls on yen, when we got stopped out of our position in SIRI, I'll post those in the trade alerts channel. We also have a channel of real-time generated alerts from our automated systems when stocks are moving up, breaking out, near our price targets, near a support level. And you can hear how you can use this real-time alerts channel to help with your trading via the link to the video in our notes. So again, a great way to also see sector rotations, reversals in the market, sentiment shifts. Again, great for day trading, scalping, in addition to swing trading. So we see with SOXL is moving up, so semiconductors moving up, Moderna moving up, oil moving up. So again, natural gas. So again, a great way to see shifts in market sentiment, sector rotations, and great for day traders, scalpers, etc. in addition to swing traders. So again, you can get access to all those types of alerts by joining our Patreon. Okay. Let me quickly grab a drink and we'll go over our watch list, our top swing trading stocks to watch, etc. Okay, here's our top swing trading stocks to watch list for this week. I'll quickly go over them in the notes, and we can look at them in our watch list Google Sheet and also the charts in Webull. So again, we've been watching Peri for a while, Peri on networks. You can hear our thesis behind why we're watching Peri on networks. Peri, via the link to the bonus video in our notes. I quickly look at this in our watch list Google Sheet. Also, I've got some enhancements I want to point out to our watch list Google Sheet. Again, you can watch our top swing trading stocks to watch, stocks in our bullpen, stocks in our shopping list, all in our watch list Google Sheet. We've got a series of videos on how to watch our top swing trading stocks to watch that you can access via the links in the notes. So the recent enhancements that I want to highlight, and then we'll look at these in each of the sheets in our watch list Google Sheet, is I added columns for the PE, the price to earnings ratio, and the ATR, the average true range, at the end of all of the sheets in our watch list Google Sheet. So the watch list, bullpen, and shopping list. So PE helps you see how expensive a stock is. If it's profitable, it'll have a positive PE. Helps you see how expensive that stock is. Average true range gives you the range that on average that a stock has been moving. This is the 8 to 14-day exponential ATR from FinViz. So also helpful for setting stops. So once if you're going to place a trade and you also want to place your stop, you can also use the ATR value to help place your stop so you don't get prematurely stopped out. So if we look at this in the watch list sheet of our watch list Google Sheet, we see here's Peri. Our watch list Google Sheet contains support and resistance, our price target levels, risk reward profiles. When the Google Finance functions are reacting, then it'll also give you additional near real-time pricing information on the stocks in our watch list. And we also have dividend information, earnings. So we can see Peri's got earnings on 11/6, optionality, any dividend information. And now we've also got the PE. So you can see Peri's PE is very low, 5.16. Its ATR, its average true range, is 0.22. So not a lot of movement. So again, if you place a trade in Peri, you can use the ATR to also help place your stop. We look at Peri and Webull. So we can see it's been relatively choppy. We can see it was downtrending for quite some period of time. The recent bottom was about, I think, 726 or so. So where I have 736, where I have that price target. So 736 is our current price target. See, it bounced up a little bit. So we're looking for just a little bit of a correction back in Peri. Again, ran up last week with the exuberance in technology a little bit, I think. So we'll also talk about our bullpen stocks. So the concept of our bullpen stocks are stocks that may not have the setup right now for our top swing trading stocks to watch list, but I've identified that they may in the near future. So we put them in the bullpen. If their setup improves, if we put them in the game, move them up to our top swing trading stocks to watch list. If they run away or break down, we just take them out of the bullpen and we can always revisit them again in the future. So in addition to our bullpen this week, that was an honorable mention that we talked about several weeks ago, is SLP Simulations Plus Inc. This is a health information kind of technology related company. You can hear our thesis on our previous discussions on SLP as an honorable mention via the bonus link in the notes. This popped up in my queries. And so I took a look at it. I might have been a little bit late in catching the swing back up in SLP. So hopefully some of our BeachBum traders may already be profiting from that honorable mention of SLP previously. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Also, we've been watching Shutterstock for a while. You can hear our thesis on why we're watching Shutterstock via the link to the video in the notes. Looks like I almost bought Shutterstock Thursday or Friday. Take a look at that in the watch list, Google Sheet. Again, you can see the PEs. You can see the PE on SLP is a little bit high. Shutterstock is a little high. You can also see the ATRs. See the earnings. So Shutterstock on the 31st. Don't have a new earnings date yet on SLP. Look at those in Webull real quickly. So here's SLP. Looks like it bottomed right around S2, S1 area. So just under 30. Looks like it bottomed, started swinging back up, broken through that resistance level. So nice swing. Again, I was potentially a little bit late in identifying that. But when we did identify that, again, we have a watch list updates channel in our Patreon or in our Discord as well, available to our Patreon members. So our watch list Google Sheet is automatically generated at the end of each day. If I make any changes to our watch list after that Google Sheet's been automatically generated, then I post that in the stocks watch list updates channel of our Discord, available to our Patreon members. You can see I added that to our bullpen, notified our Patreon members on the 14th. So we can see, it had already started to swing back up a little bit, but if you did catch it at that point, still a pretty decent profit. We'll see if we get a correction. If not, if it continues to run away, then we'll just take SLP back out of our bullpen. Shutterstock has come back down. So again, Thursday and Friday, I was watching the level 2s, see if it was going to hold this support, see if I could get a buy-in around that 30.26, or we can see that support level 30.20. So just waiting to see, if it's going to hold that support, where it's going to find some support in the level 2s. Yeah, and I was almost got in Thursday or Friday. Maybe early next week, we'll be buying Shutterstock, assuming it's going to hold that support. I hope that all helps. Okay, let me grab a drink, and then I want to go into some little bit of a quick take due diligence on several new honorable mentions that we've identified. Okay, so I've got two new honorable mentions that I want to do some quick take due diligence on. The first one is IMOS, IMOS. This is a Taiwanese semiconductor company. This was identified as a double bottom in FinViz on October 17th. So I did some quick analysis of it. It looked good. So we've also added this to our database as well. And again, I wanted to do a quick due diligence on this, show you what potentially you may like about IMOS, ChipMOS Technologies. So let's first look at it in FinViz. Just a quick reminder, you can access links to our tools like FinViz, ChartMill, etc. that we frequently use in the links section of our homepage, beachbumtrading.com, bum without the U. So if I go down to trading tools, I can find FinViz, look at IMOS and FinViz. Again, Taiwanese semiconductor, so this is an ADR. You see the double bottom at around 22. It's been coming down, for quite some period of time. It's below its near-term moving average. The most recent earnings, it is positive, profitable, but they did miss. They beat on revenue. See, the PE is only 13, so it's pretty low PE. It is profitable. This is optionable. They do have, some debt, so that's a little bit high. Not a lot of discrepancy between short float or outstanding and float, and not a terribly small company. Not a lot of shorts. We look at the description. So they do testing, semiconductor testing, and packaging solution of fabless companies, integrated device manufacturers, and foundries. So the company's building foundries, TSM's building additional foundries, Intel's building additional foundries. Although we heard that business slowed from ASML, but this would be a company that may benefit from those new foundries, flat panel displays, etc. We look at their net income, past couple quarters, positive, but declining to flat. EPS, also positive, but declining flat. Past couple of years. Net income, again, a little bit declining, a little bit flattening out. So probably a reason for the decline in their stock price. We zoom out a little bit. See this 22 area, pretty good support area. Does have some downside down into the 18s or so. Longer term, again, could be some risk down to about 18. It's kind of in the middle of that. And that's again why I'm putting that as an honorable mention, not necessarily as a one to watch right now, but we'll keep an eye on it. Again, potential upside into the mid 40s, so good, potential double long term. I also want to look at them in chart mill. So if we look at IMOS and chart mill, again, you can find the link to chart mill in the link section on our homepage. Look at IMOS. So value growth positive, value's a little negative, health a little negative, profitability average, dividend, so they do pay a small dividend, so almost 5%, so that's not a bad dividend given the current money market rate, so not a bad dividend, possibly one to hold for a while. Collect the dividends, see that double bottom support level. Let's look at their fundamentals. So 5 out of 10, so kind of average. Profitability is a little average. Look at their Altman Z if I can find it. Okay, they don't have an Altman Z. Their debt to equity is okay. So their health is a 4, so not great. Look at their technicals. So right now it's a 0, so it has a poor technical rating right now. But setup is 5 out of 10. So again, setup's not great. But again, that double bottom in FinViz was a reason to take a look at it, possibly if the technical setup improves. Again, potential turnaround play, might be a benefit from foundries. Again, kind of an under the radar semiconductor stock would benefit potentially from a rebound in semiconductors. Also, these Taiwanese technology companies seem to benefit, like Himex. We traded profitably, another Taiwanese semiconductor that we've made some good money on. So we'll keep an eye on IMOS. If anyone else has any experience trading IMOS, any further information about whether this would be a good company to swing in the future, please let us know in the comments, in the Discord, etc. What do you think of IMOS, as a potential turnaround play, bounce in the semiconductor sector, etc. I hope that all helps. Okay, so the second honorable mention that I wanted to go into a little bit of detail with you on is ATKR, Atcore Inc., who's electronic and equipment parts company. This was mentioned in a recent video by Everything Money, and I took a look at that. We actually already had this in our database, and took a look at that, and that looked interesting as well. So let's take a look at ATKR a minute. So again, if we go to FinViz first and look at ATKR. So here's Atcore Electronic Equipment and Parts. Again, we can see it's been downtrending for quite some time, had a recent high, just over 200, just under 200, been downtrending for a long time. Look like it may have established a bottom near 80. Looks like it may be swinging back up. Looks like it's trying to break that near-term moving average. Looks like they do pay a dividend. Looks like 32 cents quarterly. So that's about a 1%, so very small dividend. Last earnings, again, profitable, but they missed. So again, possibly a reason for some of the decline, missed on revenue. So again, decline on their earnings. Zoom out a little bit. So again, we see it's been in steep decline for quite some time. 194 or so is the high. 80 looks like 80 looks like pretty decent support. Longer term though, some significant potential risk down to the 20s. So we'll have to see if that holds, if it's going to swing back up. Slightly high debt. It is optionable. Again, not a lot of discrepancy between outstanding and float. Some short interest, so 12%, so possibly a little bit of a squeeze potential. See what their description is. Electrical raceway products, electrical safety infrastructure segments used in construction electric power systems such as conduit cable installation accessories, metal framing, mechanical pipe, perimeter security, cable management. Look at their net income, etc. So their net income's been significantly declining, so probably a reason for their stock price decline. EPS also declining. Recent quarters, same thing, declining revenue, declining EPS. So again, a reason for their potential decline in stock price. I'm wondering, one of the thesis or ideas that I have relative to ATKR is I'm wondering if they could be used, could benefit from the data center build out. So again, if anyone has further information, if the ATKR could benefit from the build out of data centers, I don't see any news related to that, pop-ups related to that. So potentially an area that they could turn around from. If we look at ATKR in ChartMill, looks pretty good, very good health. very good profitability, very good value, growth's a little poor, dividends low. Look at their fundamentals. Got a 7 out of 10. So again, very positive fundamentals, good health, profitability, valuation, poor on growth. Altman Z 4.68. So they're financially healthy, little risk of bankruptcy. So again, not bad, good, pretty good fundamentals. Look at their technicals. Kind of poor, 2 out of 10 technical rating. Setup right now though is 7 out of 10. So Chartmill likes the current setup at this 80 or so price. So potentially, we saw there's significant risk to the downside, but it looks like if that 80 area holds as support, good potential upside. Again, Chartmill saying it's pretty good setup right now. So possibly one you might want to take a look at. So again, please let me know if you have any experience trading ATKR, any further information. Do you think they might potentially benefit from build outs of data centers? Is this a turnaround play? Again, if you have additional information or thoughts on ATKR, please let us know in the comments and the notes in our Discord, etc. Love to hear your thoughts on ATKR. Again, we'll keep an eye on both of these and see if they warrant addition to our top swing trading stocks to watch or our bullpen. Welcome TK, TIRD. Thank you for joining us. Walter Lyons, Gerald Pitts. Hope you all are doing well. Okay, next we'll look at our shopping list stocks. Again, we always recommend that you have a list, your shopping list stocks you want to buy. Whenever you get the opportunity, be it an irrational reaction to earnings, correction in the market, etc. If we get, an October effect, maybe an opportunity to buy. Again, none of our content should be considered financial advice. We're not financial advisors. All of our content's for education and entertainment purposes only. But we recommend you still stay away from zombie stocks, zombie companies, zombie ETFs, as again, interest rates are still pretty high and the probability of significant cuts is diminishing. If you need to understand more about what zombie stocks, zombie companies, etc. are, we have videos in via the links in our notes. You can get more information about that. If you want to figure out the quarter's cash flow positive or any money-losing company, not necessarily just a biotech company, but any money-losing company, you can calculate the quarter's cash flow positive using our Biotech DD Google Sheet, Biotech Due Diligence Google Sheet, and you can get access to that, make a copy for yourself to calculate quarter's cash flow positive for any stock by joining our Patreon. So we'll quickly look at our shopping list. I've got one I want to specifically highlight. We talked about a little bit yesterday. So you can see our shopping list of stocks in the shop list tab of our watch list Google Sheet. We've got some yield maxes, some Ag 7s, Disney, semiconductors, Intel, some dividend payers, JEPQ, some REITs, land, STAG, O, etc. MSB for steel, MP for rare earths, Pfizer, watch Tesla and TSLY, uranium. The one I wanted to highlight that we talked about yesterday is we saw that breakdown in oil. And I like to buy USOI, which is a monthly dividend paying ETN stock on oil when oil, hits a low. And we've talked about if oil dips down, in that 65 range or anywhere below 70, between 70 and 65, it looks like that's the bottom. I'd like to buy a big chunk of USOI, hold that for a swing back up in oil. Part of what I wanted to point out in our shopping list, we've also got the ex-dividend dates, the dividend yields, amounts, earnings dates, etc. Also the PE and ATR. But the ex-dividend date for USOI is 10/22. So that's coming up pretty quick. So I might have to jump into USOI a little bit early if we can get a quick dip in the oil. I'd like to get a big chunk of USOI before that dividend. So we can see it pays, 94 cents, so almost $1 per share. It's got a pretty decent yield, over 21%. So again, I wanted to highlight USOI in our shopping list. Thought about adding it to our watch list or our bullpen. And I thought, well, we could just watch it on our shopping list. That's fine. It's also in our Dividend Payers Google Sheet that we'll see in a few minutes. So I didn't also add it, duplicate it in our watch list or bullpen. Welcome, Ricky Khan. Hope you're doing well. So I hope that all helps. Okay, let me grab a quick drink and we'll look at our Dividend Payers Google Sheet. Again, in addition to our swing trading, we can use Dividend Payers, create a schedule of income generation using our Dividend Payers Google Sheet with whatever our payment schedule, yield, price appreciation, etc. that we would like, whatever categories. Again, we talked about oil, etc. I don't believe USOI does not have options. Hamster's asking if USOI has options. So we can see USOI does not have options. A lot of these ETNs do not have options. So again, another helpful piece of information in our watch list Google Sheet is whether the stock's optionable. If you're thinking about selling covered calls, buying back covered calls on a stock, you can identify whether it's optionable in our watch list Google Sheet. Again, let me grab a drink. If anyone else has other dividend payers you want to look at, please throw those up in the chat. We can take a look at those dividend payers in our Dividend Payers Google Sheet. Welcome, RT. Thank you for joining us. Nice to see you. He's mentioning ENCL. I'm not familiar with that. Let's see what that is. See if it's in our dividend payers. So you check our ad sheet. Nope, ENCL. No, again, I'm not familiar with that. Let's see what that is. It's not in FinViz, so I don't know what that is. Please let me know if I've got the wrong symbol. Also, Gerald Fitz talking about icon. See if we have icon. Showing up as a semiconductor. I don't see that. Let's look at icons. Here's Icon Energy Corp. It's a Greek shipping company. I can tell you right off the bat, I don't like Greek shippers. I tell you again, very low float. Only pays 3.64%. It's not optionable. Not a lot of short. It's got a very low PE. Not a lot of debt. Looks like a relatively new stock. Looks like it's been very volatile, downtrending in general. Again, I generally don't like the Greek shippers. They've had a history of reverse splits, reofferings. And I don't like Greek shippers. We stay away from those in general. So if anyone else has any other dividend payers you want to look at, again, you can find the yield maxes at the top of our ad sheet. Not a whole lot of attractive yield maxes right now. We do watch APLY, TSLY, and BDY, etc. TSLY has been relatively close to its 52-week low, but Tesla is not. So again, we like to watch for a support or dip in the underlying or entry points in the yield maxes. And you can find the distribution schedule and the reference link on our references section, our sheet of our dividend payers, and they've broken those up into different groups, paying out on different weeks. So again, I would highly recommend checking out that distribution schedule. Also, we talked about USOI. Again, you can find USOI in our dividend payers Google sheet, see the risk reward profile, additional dividend payment information, etc. Also, stocks like Shutterstock, etc., do pay a small dividend, but it's not really significant. So we're looking for more price appreciation than the dividend itself. SIRI also, I think, pays a small dividend, or it did. So yeah, paid a small quarterly dividend, but again, we're looking for price appreciation. Ricky Khan's mentioning MSTY, which is, I'm sure, the yield max on probably MicroStrategy. See if I have that one. So we haven't looked at that. Again, another yield max. And MicroStrategy, it's relatively high right now, had a nice run. So congratulations if you made a nice profit on that MSTY on that run up. So sizable dividend. So yeah, that's a nice yield max if you like MicroStrategy, run up on Bitcoin. So MSTY, that may be one that we want to add to our dividend payers. And I'll add the data for that in the future. Thank you for sharing that, Ricky Khan. Okay, I'll leave the dividend payers up. CLM, TK's mentioning CLM. I believe we have that one. So here's CLM. You see the risk reward profile for that. Pays 11. Let's see, 11 cents monthly. Got a pretty nice net yield, 16% yield, closed-end fund. Again, you can also access the profiles for these stocks in the via the FinViz link in the notes column over Dividend Payers. Okay, so it's pretty high right now. So I wouldn't necessarily buy it right now, but again, on a dip, potentially pretty nice dividend yield. Again, you can track that in our Dividend Payers Google Sheet. Also mentioning CRF. I don't think we have that one. Oh, I'm not familiar with that one. Let's see if that's the same company. So CLM's Cornerstone, CRF. Okay, so this is a strategic value fund, and CRF is a total return fund. So yeah, two different funds from Cornerstone. See, CRF pays 15%. Again, it's pretty high, optionable, but performed very nicely. So yeah, both CLM and CRF have been pretty attractive recently. So thank you for sharing those, TK. Okay, if anyone else has any other dividend payers you want to look at, I'll try to keep an eye on the chat, but I want to get into our option strategies as well. So in addition to using dividend payers to generate income, we also use several option strategies. The first being we sell covered calls against our positions when they're going up, buy them back when they're coming back down. As you saw, we made money scalping that yen in this strategy. We sold it when yen was going up, bought it back when it's coming down. Then we can rinse and repeat, generate our own self-generated dividends that way. And you can use our covered calls Google Sheet to do various what-if analysis on your covered call strategies. And we've got a video on how you can use our covered call Google Sheet to do what-if analysis on your covered call strategies that you can access via the bonus link in the notes. We also sell puts when stocks are going down, buy them back when they're coming back up. And we use our puts ROIC Google Sheet to identify opportunities to sell and then buy back puts. And you can also use our puts ROIC Google Sheet for your options trading to help you make money trading options puts in this example by joining our Patreon. I'll open up our puts ROIC Google Sheet. And then let me grab a drink, and I want to go over some updates and some additions to our puts ROIC Google Sheet for this week. Okay, firstly, just very quickly, some updates. So I moved the put for Sirius XM that we had on the research sheet up to our main watch list sheet. I do have a sale out on that 23 strike for January 25th on SIRI that we'll take a look at. Again, looks like SIRI's run up, but again, if we get a quick pullback, if I can sell those puts profitably, then that may be a way to re-enter SIRI as additionally to buying the shares. Also, I updated the strike price down on Dollar General, down from 80 to 75. Again, it's been breaking down, so I updated that. I've got several additions to our research sheet, and I want to look at each of these in some detail. So the first one we're adding is Celsius, CELH, at a 30 strike price. I've got the November expiration right now. So I want to take a quick look at Celsius, do a little bit of due diligence on Celsius and why that's potentially interesting. So if we now go to our research sheet, you can see also I've got a yellow highlight. If it's highlighted in yellow, it means I've got to sell out on that right now. So we can see right now, the high was 183. That's about a 2% ROI. I've got to sell out at the 52-week high at $4. Give me about a 8.7% ROI. And again, you can access the profiles for these in the comments, Finviz link in the comments. So here's Celsius Holdings. So we see it's steep, a long decline. And did I see Sydney? Wasn't this Sydney a Sydney favorite? I don't know if you got out of Celsius on the decline or back in, but I think Sydney was a fan of Celsius in the past. See, it came down to that 30 level, gapped up, getting rejected off that near-term moving average, but it looks like that 30 is a pretty good support level. So that's why I put that strike price there. So it does look like it bottomed and is bouncing back up. So on a quick pullback, if that put premium jumps up, we might be able to sell those puts. Still got a decent amount of downside, but it does look like there's a decent support at that 30 level. They are profitable. P is a little high, 33. Obviously, this is optionable. A little bit of discrepancy between their outstanding and float, so maybe a risk of an offering. The short float's 12.8%, so potentially some short squeeze potential. See, it's performed very poorly this year. Not a lot of debt. I'm sure people are familiar with Celsius. It's a energy drink, etc. So if we also look at them in chart mill, because I thought that was useful. See Celsius Holdings. So it's got very positive growth, very positive health, very positive profitability, kind of poor valuation, doesn't pay a dividend. Look at their fundamentals. So 7 out of 10, very positive fundamentals. Again, good health, growth, decent profitability, poor on valuation. Their Altman Z, if we can find it, 12.27, so not in any danger of bankruptcy. So financially stable company. You look at their technicals. So again, this really turned me on to looking at Celsius. So right now, technical rating 1 out of 10, so pretty poor right now. But the setup is 6 out of 10, so near that 30 level, got a pretty decent setup. So again, that got me interested in Celsius. I put a sell out on that put. We could also consider it. I can watch it now in our puts ROIC Google sheet, and possibly we could buy shares. We could sell the puts. We could do a little bit of either one. But I hope that all helps. Let me know your further thoughts on Celsius. Do you think it's going to continue to decline? Did have some significant potential further downside long term. Also, I guess there's been rumors about a large beverage company possibly buying them out like they did with Monster. So I don't remember if it was Coke or Pepsi where the rumor was that they potentially buy Celsius. So if someone else with more information, more experience with CELH, Celsius Holdings, has that information, please share it with the community. That would be great. I also added the put for SLP. We talked about SLP in our bullpen, and another option would be to sell puts. Again, we've seen it's run up, so I wanted to watch for that other option of also selling puts on SLP at the 30 strike price. So again, another option if we do get a quick pullback and we can sell some puts for profitably on SLP, we can now watch that in our puts ROIC Google Sheet as well. So you can see the current premiums, not right now, the low and the high are the same, so it's not showing a decent ROIC. If you put the low down to like 5 cents, actually the 52-week is also the same. So if I put those down at the 52-week high of 330, we get a 9% ROIC, so that'd be pretty good. We just need to see if we can get that difference. It must be low liquidity, not a lot of trading on those puts on SLP. Another one I wanted to go into a little more detail on, also CVS. So we've heard they had a change in CEO on CVS. It's been declining for quite some time. It popped up in this ROIC tool. So again, every day I use this option seller ROIC or ROI tool to look for additional opportunities for trading puts. CBS popped up as having a high ROI potential ROIC. So I added the 52.50 strike price for November to see what the premiums on that look like. So we can look at the premiums and then also the charts on CBS. So here's the put on CBS. So we can see right now it's only got a 1.5%. If I go to the 52-week high, the 410, got a 6.5. So if CBS continues to decline, gets closer to that 52-week high in that put, that might be attractive. We look at the chart for CBS real quickly. So we see that dramatic drop, again, change in CEO. The last earnings were August 7th. So they beat on EPS, missed slightly on revenue. Their next earnings is November 6th, so we might get a drop again further. Maybe the premiums will pop up on those. Also on their earnings, if they miss or say something bad guidance-wise, maybe the premiums on that put may pop up on CBS. So again, I've got it at 52.50, which is just at that probably the 52-week low. Yep. So not too much potential downside, maybe to the low 50s, but that looks like a pretty good support level. So again, if we could sell some puts at that 52.50 or so for a decent premium, we could see the potential ROIC was pretty attractive for CBS 6.5. So again, we just need that premium to pop up, CBS to further decline. So we'll keep an eye on that. Just very quickly, some of the other sells I currently have out. Again, you can see that they're highlighted in yellow. If I already have a sell out, got a sell out still on Intel at 20 at 315. So that's a 13% ROIC. Again, Intel's bounced back up, so I haven't gotten that one yet. And I mentioned I put a sell on SIRI at 23 at 245. So again, just below that 52-week high. So again, if any of these have a irrational reaction to earnings, or if we get a quick correction and I can sell those puts, you can see Intel even right now at 123 has a 5% ROIC. So that might be one your short-term options trader. If you want to scalp those puts on Intel, that might also be helpful. So again, we've got a whole series of videos on how you can use our puts ROIC Google Sheet to help you make money trading options, puts, titled Option Strategies for Beginners with Examples. Also got a whole playlist on how to make money trading options. And you can access all those videos in our options playlist. If you would like us to add any options on the puts to our automated system, collect the options data, post it to our puts ROIC Google Sheet, let us know the strikes, expirations, the stock, etc., and we can add that to our systems. Okay, if anybody has any last minute stocks you want to look at, any last minute questions, please show those up in the chat. Okay, if you have any questions after the fact, if you're watching this video later, please post any questions, comments, etc., any recommendations for improvement to our videos, our weekly trading game plans, our tools, resources, Google Sheets, community, etc., in the comments to any of our videos. Also, you can tag us in our Discord. We're at BeachBum Trading, all lowercase, no other characters, symbols, etc., numbers. Anyone else or anyone that contacts you or send you a friend request or DM without advance warning, we would always let you know in advance. Anybody else who's an imposter, we'd love to have you join our Discord. We've got many channels for trading different styles, different asset classes, so you can 24/7 join your fellow BeachBum traders, talk about anything related to trading in our Discord. And our Discord's free to join, with the exception of a few channels I pointed out that are exclusive to our Patreons. And we hope you like this content. We'd greatly appreciate it if you would smash the like button on our videos. Help us try to get the YouTube algorithm to show us some love someday and share our content with more traders. And we really need your help to directly share our content with your fellow traders, repost our content on your social media sites, etc. Let's continue to grow our BeachBum trading community for the mutual benefit of all of our fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you again to everyone that joined us in the chat today, everyone that's watching after the fact. Hope to see you back again next week for our weekly trading game plans, part 1, 10 a.m. on Saturdays, part 2, 10 a.m. Eastern time on Sundays. And in the meantime, good luck and have a great trading week.